Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at two smartphones that are actually pretty well priced. The Samsung Galaxy A12, and we also do have the N100. But before we do me a huge favor. Make sure you subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. But if you're already a part of the crew, So today we have the A12 here on the left. What comes inside of the box is technically your headphones, your 15 watts fast charging brick, as well as the charging cable, which is Type-C as well. And you can see we do have the Poetic cases for both the Revolution series, right? So we do have the charging brick in the N100, which is a 30 watts brick, but it's not in here because I'm actually using it to charge my other devices. All right, so we're gonna take a look at both these devices in a little bit more detail. The Samsung Galaxy A12 on the left you can get for about $199, and the Nord N100 you can get for around $134, and these are both priced pretty decent, right? So just keep in mind we do get the high refresh on the Nord. We also do get Android 11 on both of these devices, right? So let me just put the dark mode off on this one so you can see that a little bit better. And I think it has like the reading mode on here as well. So both of these devices are pretty good, right? We have the Snapdragon 460, which is going to be on the Nord N100, and then we do have the, the Helio P35 on the Samsung. So just keep that in mind. Just kind of want to throw that out there that we will have, some budget. These are budget devices, right? So they're budget phones. But if you're looking to save some money, both of these devices are extremely good value for the money. I can't complain with either one of these things. So I definitely like using both of these devices, especially with the design. We do have triple camera setup on the Nord right here, the N100, and we'll talk about the cameras in a little bit more detail. We also have a fingerprint sensor that's located on the back of the N100, and as far as the buttons, we have the volume rockers on the left side, and on the right side of the A12 right here, you can see we have those volume rockers. So they put the volume rockers on the left side of the Nord, and they're on the right side of the A12. So just keep that in mind. And you can see this is how both volume rockers would look. You can get to all your settings right here, and they have really good interfaces when you're looking at them and stuff like that. But let's take the cases off so we can see these phones in a little bit more detail. All right, guys, so let me know what you think about both of these devices as far as the design on both of the back of these phones. Now, both of these have really good designs. We have a two-tone finish on the A12, and we have a matte finish on the Nord. This is more like a blue color, a dark blue color, kind of like a charcoal blue, and it kind of looks a little bit gray, but it's really just a blue color. And then on this A12, it's like a very dark charcoal gray black. And on the bottom here, it's definitely like an anthracite gray. And you get some texture here at the top. So I definitely like both of these devices, and I really like that matte texture on the N100. So the fingerprint sensor is going to be located on the side on the A12, so just keep that in mind, and it's going to be located on the back of the N100 right here. So you can see the cameras are going to stick out just a little bit. Let's see if the phones rock. They don't really rock on a table, even though the phones do stick out. So we do get a 6.52 inch on the N100 right here, which has a notch at the top left hand corner, and we do get a 6.5 inch on the the A12, which does have a dewdrop V notch at the top right there. So it's the Infinity V design that they didn't implement on that device. And you can see both of these devices do have a 720 display. So just keep that in mind that both of these devices are going to have a 720 display, but we do get 5,000 milliamp hour batteries on both devices, as well as 8 megapixel front facing selfie cameras. So I just want to let you guys know that both of these devices will have those those 8 megapixel front facing selfie cameras. And they did include a 48 megapixel camera on the A12 here, and on the N100 they actually included a 13 megapixel on there as well. So included in the bundle, we do get a 5 megapixel, which is a wide angle lens for the A12, and a 2 megapixel portrait, as well as a 2 megapixel telephoto lens. And on the N100, we have a macro camera, which is a 2 megapixel, as well as a portrait 2 megapixel paired along with it. So they do have pretty decent quality. I definitely like the way, I like how they included the telephoto lens on the A12, and the N100 does have some pretty decent quality to it as well, right? So when it comes to the, overall quality of this thing, it's going to be pretty good. Both of these devices will have a really decent camera quality to them, and they have really good like focusing and everything like that at this price point. So it really just comes down to which one is your personal preference. But like I said, when it comes to those photos, just looking at them, really good quality, really good detail on both of these devices. So let's jump into a little bit more detail. Now, when it comes to the display brightness, it does appear that the N100 is slightly brighter just by looking at these two photos and just looking at the screens right now. When I'm looking at both of these devices, the N100 is also lighter as when it comes to the weight. It's 188 versus grams of weight versus 205, and they're both made of plastic, right? So they're going to be all plastic. And as far as the displays, they're both going to be pretty decent at 6.5 inch. We have an IPS TFT LCD on the A12, and we have a IPS LCD on the, the Nord N100. And the N100 does have a 720 by 1440 display on this guy, so it's going to be decent when it comes to the overall screen resolution. But the A12 does have a higher pixel density count because it's going to be 720 by 1560. And so basically the pixels per inch are 264 on the A12 versus 247 on the N100. So I just kind of want to throw that out there, that both of these devices will, have medium density displays when it comes to like using these devices. And so if you were looking for a better display, it would probably be, the A12 is spec'd higher, so but you're getting that 90 hertz refresh rate versus the 60 hertz refresh rate. I'm not gonna say that word again, but you're also getting dual speakers on the A12, and you can see those sounded really loud when you're listening to the speakers on this thing. And then when you put the speakers on this guy, you're only getting that mono speaker on this guy. So I just kind of want to throw that out there, that it will have the 60 hertz and it won't have that dual speaker system. So that just keep that in mind, that we will get the dual speaker system, but both of these devices will have those 5,000 milliamp hour batteries. And it's going to look a lot more snappier when you're scrolling on the N100 because it has that 90 hertz refresh rate versus the A12, but they both look really good. It's like not really that important, and because they're both 720 displays, they're gonna look pretty similar. But you can see both of these phones do pretty much have like the same type of performance, and we're gonna jump into some more performance just to test out the overall, like how each one performs when it comes to graphics and stuff like that, handling games and everything of that nature. But both of these devices are pretty cool. We do have that One UI 3.1 on the Samsung, and we do have that Oxygen on the, the N100. So they're two different operating systems, but they both are well optimized in both regards. I really like both of these softwares, and you can see right here that you can just take a look at some of the information for both of these devices, and it does say that the software information is Android 11, and we get Oxygen 11 on the N100, and we get that One UI 3.1 on the Samsung A12. So when it comes to the displays, I definitely probably could say that they're even, but we do have 90 hertz refresh rate here, but they do have a higher pixel count on this guy, And so when it comes to just like opening up a video in 8K, let me just show you what that looks like, so we can kind of just get an idea of how what the highest graphic count for both of these guys is when we're going into there. So let's just lower the volume for these guys, and I'm gonna go into the settings for the video and test out which one goes up higher based on the screen resolutions that both of these devices do have to offer. So let's just take a look at that right now, and you can see when we go into higher picture quality, let's go into the manual one right here, and it's saying right here we could choose from advanced. So it gives us 1080 on the A12, and when we go into advanced, it also gives us 1080 on the N100. So I just kind of want to let you guys know that you will get that 1080 on both of these guys, right? When you're recording, when you're watching video and stuff like that. And you can see it is rendering for some reason on this guy, the A12, but they do look extremely good, right? They look extremely good when it comes to the displays. The N100 looks absolutely gorgeous, and it doesn't have any rendering right here, but the A12 is rendering, and they're running on the same Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure why the Samsung Galaxy A12 is rendering, but it is catching up, as you can see right here. But they both look extremely beautiful when it comes to these displays right now. All right, so when it comes to the display quality, these guys are pretty much even, but let's just see how the graphics will be on both of these guys. And the audio quality will definitely be better on the N100 because it has the dual speakers, and the battery life will be pretty much similar, but just keep in mind that as far as the processing chips, we do have an 11 nanometer when it comes to the N100, and we do have a 14 nanometer when it comes to the A12. But given that both of these do have 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 of internal storage, they're both gonna run pretty proper when it comes to gaming. All right guys, so this is the N100 right here, and let's just test out the graphics to see how high we can get on the graphics, because I want you guys to know which one will be the better. So we do get smooth and high frame rate on this guy, so let's just go ahead and test this guy out a little bit. All right, so another thing you need to know about the N100 is it will have the gyroscope, it will have the compass, it does pack the accelerometer, it does give you the light sensor, proximity sensor, fingerprint sensor, and you do get the gaming mode. So when you're in the game right here, you can see that right here you have to actually touch that drag home button right here, that little arrow, in order to get the notification bar. So it's really protected. This guy was playing games with me. Let's see if we can play a quick match. Okay, so I didn't even mean to do that. That's pretty crazy. So the graphics are at smooth high right now. So let's jump into that because I want them to be pretty smooth when I'm playing. Okay, so he got me right back, I think. That's pretty crazy. So it's really smooth. It's really performing really well. We got the Snapdragon 460 on this thing. Got him. All right, so yeah, this thing is pretty cool, and also does have that 64 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of internal storage as well. So I definitely think that'll be pretty cool as well. All right, guys. So the Snapdragon 450 on the N10 did give us smooth at high frame rate. So we don't actually get that with the A12. We get a higher frame rate on this one. So this one has the advantage when it comes to gaming. But let's just take a look at the performance right first before we judge. But we did get the high frame rate setting on this one, so I just kind of want to throw that out there. And it is the less expensive device come out of the two, so let's just go ahead. Well, we do have the Power VR GE8320 on this Samsung Galaxy A12, right? So you don't get that setting that I was talking about, that high frame rate setting for gaming. But let's just take a look at it. And yeah, it did feel smoother on the M100. It did feel smoother. But let's just see how it is when we're shooting and walking around and stuff like that. Got him. All right, so it's really smooth here as well. There's no issues when it comes to pretty much gaming and stuff like that. So let's just go ahead and continue on. All right, so it's really smooth, right? It's really smooth, it's really clean. Even though we don't have that setting, you can still game very well on this device as well, just like the N100, right? But you will get that smooth graphics setting. So I just kind of want to let you guys know that you will get that setting, right? And I did run out of bullets at that very moment. So like I said, both of these devices, you're gonna get that 48 megapixel on the Samsung A12. You're gonna get the 13 on the N100, but you're also gonna get the macro at 2 megapixels, and the wide angle you're getting on this one, but you're actually getting a telephoto on this guy here as well. So there's just a lot of cameras on this thing. There's a lot going on with this thing, right? The A12, it's got the macro and it's got the telephoto. It doesn't have the wide angle. So I just want to let you kind of correct myself. I think I said it had the wide angle. It's got the telephoto, and you can see we got all those distance modes right here with the telephoto. So it gives us that option right there to mess around with it. And you know, we get 1080 30 frames as well on that thing as well. You don't get 60 frames per second, you can see right here. And then on the N100, when you go into this guy right here, you can see that they give us 1080 30 on here as well. So there's no 1080 60 on either one of these devices because they are budget devices, right? So just want to clear that up. But both of these devices, when it comes to the camera quality, I probably would go with I'll probably go with the N100, right? I'll probably go with the N100. But let me know what you guys think down below. I definitely think as far as the graphics, I would go with the N100, but you know, we do get facial recognition on both of these devices. We do get fingerprint sensors as well. You can see what I really like about the N100 is look at the camera dewdrop right there. It gives you the green, when you can see the facial recognition around the camera working, and it just unlocks really nicely. I really like how they did that on Android 11. And that's like implemented with their new software that they did add. And let's just take a look at the facial recognition on the A12, right? And that's really quick as well. It doesn't give you like a flashy animation. You can see it on the V drop notch right there. It's actually pretty cool as well. So they do give you like a flashy animation there as well. But both of these devices do have facial recognition. They also do have fingerprint sensors. They also do, they're a bit of game, play PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile. They can't play Fortnite, but they can play pretty much every other title, Genshin Impact and things of that nature with the 4 gigabytes of RAM. So when it comes to both of these devices, I would probably, recommend, if you like gaming, I would go with the 90 hertz refresh because it has that extra high setting. And if you like cameras, this one has the telephoto to play around with. So this is pretty cool on the Samsung, and you're getting 4 cameras versus 3, and you're getting that 48 megapixel versus the, and they're pretty much even when it comes to the overall software. The cameras on both of these devices are 8 megapixels on the front, so they're pretty much even when it comes to the front facing camera. It looks like the N100 could capture my face at this angle that I was sitting in automatically. I don't know if that's like the smart unlock or something like that, but I'll just use the fingerprint sensor there. But yeah, both of these devices are nice. The A12 does have a slightly higher pixel resolution as well, so it will have a slightly better pixel and display ratio on it, 1560 by 720 versus 1440 by 720 on the N100. So let me know what you guys think about both of these devices. I really like both of these things, but I'm gonna get right back with you. Let me know what you guys think later, crew. Peace.